How Minnesota might comply with the federal Real ID law began getting hashed out in a House and Senate Conference Committee Tuesday. The House File 3, Senate File 166 Conference Committee met for about an hour to compare the two bodies' approaches to implementing compliance with the Real ID Act of 2005, a federal law guiding states to issue driver's licenses and other IDs that meet certain improved data and security standards. Among the major differences between the two bills is whether a current rule against issuing driver's licenses to undocumented residents should be put into law. The House says yes, but in the Senate version, such a ban would apply only to Real ID compliant identification. The next step for the conference committee is to work through provisions which are same or similar in the two bills. A conference committee meeting detailed the differences in the two Omnibus education finance bills on Wednesday. Nonpartisan House and Senate staff reviewed House File 890 and Senate File 718 for a side-by-side comparison. The House proposal would increase the general education basic formula funding by 1.25% over the 2018-19 biennium, over $200 million in additional funding. The Senate would increase the formula by 1.5%, a nearly $300 million increase. Both bills contain numerous policy provisions, something that Governor Mark Dayton has said he doesn't want to be included in omnibus finance bills. The defunding of voluntary pre-K is the most prominent policy provision to catch the ire of the governor. Currently, $25 million in base funding serves an estimated 3,300 4-year-olds at 74 school districts. Fee increases at state parks, delays in the buffer law, even who can use scopes on muzzle loaders are just a few of the issues up for negotiation as the Omnibus Environment and Natural Resources Policy and Finance Conference Committee met for the first time Wednesday. House File 888 and Senate File 723 would fund and give direction to the state's environment and natural resources work over the next few years. While the bills are very similar and most of the discrepancies minor or technical in nature, there are several areas where the House and Senate bills differ more significantly. Those include a $2 increase for daily state park permits and a $10 annual increase included in the House bill, and a 2-year extension of the current deadlines to implement buffer requirements included in the Senate's legislation. The nonpartisan House Research and House Fiscal Analysis departments were recognized by the House Thursday for their 50 years of service. Both departments were created in 1967. A resolution was read that described how essential the departments are to the legislative process, and House members congratulated the department staff on their 50-year anniversary.
Whereas the House Research and House Fiscal Analysis departments have, through their good cheer, calm professionalism, and dedicated service, served the state of Minnesota and the House of Representatives in the highest fashion. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Committee on Rules and Legislative Administration of the House of Representatives of the state of Minnesota that it congratulates the House Research Department and the House Fiscal Analyst Department on their 50th anniversary. Members, please join me in congratulating them.
Insurance companies may be able to limit life insurance payments to beneficiaries of suspected terrorists. Sponsored by Representative Joe Hoppe, House File 1397 was passed as amended 127-2 by the House Thursday and heads to the Senate where Senator Warren Limmer is the sponsor.
House File 1397 is my bill, and it's dealing with people that commit an act of terrorism should not profit by their life insurance policy. So if you're in the planning for committing an act of terrorism, we don't think that you should be able to, as part of that, provide for your heirs or whoever you want by increasing your life insurance policy. And so the bill simply states that an act of terrorism shouldn't allow you to gain in that way.
Representative Lori Halverson said it was unfortunate these bills have to be passed, but added that this safeguard will help keep insurance rates down.
This is a commerce issue because it's going to have it could potentially have a very big impact on rates people pay for insurance. And if people are using nefarious purposes to take out life insurance policies and unjustly enrich their heirs when they have an intent to commit an act of terror, that could have a real impact on ratepayers in insurance. And we talk about those issues all the time when it comes to making sure that we're being fair to the public. We're sharing risk, and I don't think that members of the public have any right or any responsibility to share risk with people who fraudulently take out life insurance policies while they are intending to commit an act of terror.
For more information on the Minnesota House of Representatives, check out our Session Daily coverage on the House website, www.house.mn/Session Daily.